From a cosmic perspective, the Amazon is the planet's primary climate regulator. The biome holds an estimated 150 to 200 billion tons of carbon. By locking that carbon into its vegetation and soil, it actively stabilizes global temperatures and keeps the atmosphere from overheating. Down in the physical structure of the canopy, sheer density drives this process. 390 billion individual trees work in unison to cycle air and moisture. This is a highly efficient biological machine. It has operated successfully without interruption for 65 million years. Earth's atmospheric safety relies entirely on the structural integrity of this specific, interconnected forest system. Down on the forest floor and deep within the understory, the Amazon acts as a massive, largely unexplored genetic library. It houses roughly 10% of all known species on Earth. We are still cataloging its contents. In recent expeditions, scientists identified the Ranitomea aquamarina, a newly discovered species of poison dart frog, characterized by its striking metallic blue stripes. Apex predators thriving in the brush serve as living indicators. Their presence proves the baseline health and high complexity of the food web supporting them. That complexity extends into the basin's waterways, where aquatic life like the pink river dolphin has adapted perfectly to navigate the region's flooded forests. Bulldozing this ecosystem for agriculture is functionally equivalent to incinerating the world's greatest medical and genetic archive before reading the pages. This map visualizes the mechanics of flying rivers. Through transpiration, the canopy pumps 20 billion tons of water into the atmosphere every day. Those atmospheric rivers travel westward, dropping recycled moisture over Central and Southern South America, sustaining agricultural breadbaskets that feed millions. In 2023, extreme heat and drought severely disrupted this water cycle, causing a massive glitch in the system. The intense environmental stress created a terrifying anomaly. The Amazon flipped from a carbon sink to a carbon source, emitting up to 170 million tons of carbon as the vegetation decayed and burned. The ecosystem is no longer a passive victim of climate change. Driven by extreme heat and unprecedented drought, it is now being forced into actively accelerating the global warming process. Pushing relentlessly into that pristine biome is the engine of human extraction. In early 2026, the historic Amazon soy moratorium collapsed. For decades, major grain traders voluntarily refused to buy soy grown on newly cleared land. Due to shifting local tax incentives, those multinational corporations abandoned the agreement. Without that financial safeguard in place, experts project a 30% spike in regional deforestation by 2045. Short-term economic policies and rapid agribusiness expansion are now directly dismantling our planet's primary, irreplaceable life support system. This data gauge tracks total Amazon deforestation, which currently sits at roughly 18%. If that number hits the 20 to 25% red line, it triggers savannization, a threshold where the forest permanently degrades into a dry, grassy plain. Crossing this line means the ecosystem loses the physical ability to generate its own rain, leaving behind a highly flammable landscape stripped of its biodiversity. World leaders recently gathered in Belém for COP30, the United Nations Climate Summit. While they successfully launched the Tropical Forest Facility to fund conservation, the summit ended without a binding agreement to phase out fossil fuels. On the ground, the true frontline defense remains with the indigenous communities, actively resisting fossil fuel extraction in their territories. Political funds are being created, but without systemic shifts in the global economy, the threat of reaching the tipping point remains entirely active and imminent. The Amazon is still alive and functioning. It is highly capable of recovery if protected. The year 2026 is the year of decision. We possess the data, the tracking technology, and the ecological knowledge required to halt the collapse before the 20% threshold is breached. We are out of time for compromises. The survival of the entire blue marble is inextricably bound to keeping its green lung intact.